Jude, please mute your mic. Jude, mute your mic.
Okay, I'm trying to. Can you hear me now?
Is that Benedict? I can hear you, Benedict.
Yeah, good.
You should be able to share your screen now.
Okay, I'm new to the let me just try to get a hold of the app.
Sure.
Hello?
Hello, Ben.
So welcome everyone. Please, can you mute your screen? Hello, please try to mute your screen before we get started. There will be a video presentation. Thank you, first of all. Thank you everyone for joining us.
I think the host should mute it from his end. The host should mute it from his end. Some people just connect and then they're not paying attention to what they're doing. Just knock everybody off.
Hello, Kola, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mark. Is
I
Benedict there?
yes, I muted everybody and I asked Benedict to unmute. And he should be able to share.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Can you hear me, Dr. Mark?
Yes, perfect. Perfect. Hello there.
Okay. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the stock trading course. My name is Benedict Ogenede. I'm the PR and marketing manager for Trove Finance, and I have Dr. Mark Perkins of Skill-Based Africa. Today, we will be taking you through the basics of stock trading and everything that you need to know becoming a the best trader that you can be. So quickly, I'll be giving a brief about Trove and what we do at Trove, and also I would bring on Kingsley to talk about Skill-Based Africa before we go right into the session. So while we do that, we just use that time to also get more people to join the call. I'm so excited about this. I believe we all can see about 133 people on the call at the moment. I believe we're excited. If you're excited, please let us know in the chat box. Excited to be here this afternoon. If you joined any of our social media round we had from Monday, please let us know also on the chat box. We might have something for you. Yeah, great. So let's just dive into it. Yeah, so basically Trove is a fintech platform, basically a mobile app that enables you access the local and foreign stock market from your phone. From the top of your phone, you can download Trove on the Google Play Store or the App Store, and you can access, you can start investing in great companies like Facebook, Amazon, Tesla, Google, as many as as you can. Also local companies, local stocks like MTN. Some of us invested in MTN last year when we had that announcement made by them, GTB, and a couple of others. So yeah, basically that's what Trove enables you to do, and that's why we are partnering with Skill-Based Africa to ensure that as many and more young people are able to understand what the stock market is about and make quality trading decisions. Yeah, basically that's what we do at Trove, and we are happy to bring this to everybody joining. We believe that this will help everyone become better in their investment and trading decisions. So I will hand over to Kingsley to give us a brief about the Skill-Based Africa.
All right.
Kingsley,
thank you, Benedict, for that. So, hi everyone. My name is Kingsley Ife, sitting here in Helsinki, Finland, as a team member of Skill-Based Africa. So let me just give you guys a quick background of Skill-Based Africa and what we do at Skill-Based Africa. So we're on a mission to provide a great training for the people all over the continent of Africa. And then, of course, our training offers range of short-term and short-term lectures to courses lasting months, weeks. We cover a wide range of topics, which include human resources, sales and marketing, stock trading, and technology such as AI. We also integrate content soft skills like report writing and presentation. So today we're in a group of, we have a team of 3. So Dr. Mark in the UK, in Cambridge specifically, and then of course, Kolakbo at Lagos. But without further ado, I would like to welcome you all today for this training. And I think everyone is excited because this issue of trading and stock trading and understand what all of this is all about is very, very important at this point in time. So Dr. Mark is obviously going to open up more about that and everything you need to know about stock trading. And then I'll be guiding the whole discussion. And for some of you, if you have any questions or any insight that you would like to share, please feel free to just put your question on the chat below, and then we will follow it up. Without further ado, I think I would introduce Dr. Mark now. So Mark, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Kingsley. And just to check that you can see my presentation.
Yes.
Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so welcome everybody. I'm really pleased to be here and to speak to you today. Great introductions there from Benedict and Kingsley. Thank you very much. So this will be a short lecture and indeed a training session on stock trading. So I'll begin with a short introduction to myself. So I work with my 2 partners, Kingsley and Kola, in Skills-Based Africa with our mission, which Kingsley articulated really well. So that's a picture of me, and I live in Cambridge in the UK, and that's King's College, which is part of the university. So first of all, a few words about myself. This is me. I'm an academic and business trainer with international clients all over the world. I'm also a tech company owner, Repindex, which is in text analysis in different ways, ranging from opinion survey data to big text analysis. I work closely with colleagues in Poland. I'm a research associate of an R&D company called Glokor. And I'm the director of an MBA program in big data and digitalization planned with the university called UITM, also in Poland. I manage my own portfolio. In fact, it's a family portfolio. So my history is that I'm a trainer and I've worked for many years with financial clients, specifically in the Nordic area. And that includes very large banks in Sweden, also Norway, where I've trained the chief economist of Nordea, the chief analyst. I've worked with many traders and such people. And it was about maybe 10 years ago that I started to manage a family portfolio, my own family's portfolio, and I've done that ever since. And so having that background, experience and knowledge, I began to put that into my own trading. And I learned on the basis of that knowledge and experience, but also from the bottom up. And that's what's really exciting today, because I'm going to share with you some very practical things about trading, both simple mechanical things, as I call it, and also the background, the bigger picture that you have to take into account. So that's my objective. So if you haven't muted, I'd like you to all to mute your mics. I did mute you all on arrival, so that would be very helpful. So I have a PhD, MA, and 2 diplomas, and I have hobbies too. I'm not just a business person. I play the clarinet. So I'm going to start off with what I call the mechanics of trading. So the mechanics of trading include the stock price, the trading hours, and keeping an eye on the market. So those three things are kind of fundamental when you're actually doing the job. When we look at the stock price in particular, we see a price, but that's not the whole story, because there are in fact two prices. There's the offer or ask price, which is what you pay when you buy the stock, and there's the bid price, which is what you get when you sell. And these are also called the buy and sell price. And there is a difference between the two, and that's highly significant. Here is a screenshot from a platform called Hargreaves Lansdown. It's one of the big platforms over here in the UK. You can register on the platform, and you can put money in and trade. I did make a request to turn off microphones, so someone has a mic on. Could you possibly turn that off? Thank you. So here you can see Amazon, Amazon.com Inc. So sitting here in the UK, we can trade stocks on many exchanges, and the US exchanges are included here. But my point was to say that there are two prices. As you can see, there's a sell price and a buy price. And that means that when you buy the stock, you'll pay 3311.02. And when you've got that stock,
Olajide Bello, your mic.
Sorry guys, there's just too much noise in the background. I have asked everybody to turn off their mics. Could you please do that straight away?
Do not turn off on a mic now. My ear to this man they talk. What you worry on yourself?
Please follow simple instruction. Please knock everybody off. Mute everybody.
Please mute everyone. Mute everyone.
I have muted everyone, and some people have unmuted. Okay? I have muted everyone, and some people have unmuted. I continue. So Amazon.
Is there no way you can mute and lock?
No, there's no way. You cannot mute and lock. I've muted everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so when we buy, we pay 3311.02, and when we sell, we get 3309.11, and the difference is called the spread. So we lose that when we trade. The spread is the difference between the sell and buy price, and there can be a small spread or a large spread. So a small spread you'll find with large companies with a high trading volume, and in that case the broker earns a little money on each trade. But of course there are very many trades. So that's the case with very large companies. Let's look at the volume here. We can see HSBC, for example, on that particular day, there were more than 7 million trades in the day. So that's a lot of trades, and therefore the spread is quite small. But when it comes to a large spread, that is when we get small companies with a low trading volume. In particular, they could be on a market like AIM in London, the alternative investment market, which is for small companies. So small company, low trading volume, larger spread. Let's look at the time of day. Here's the time of day for some major markets, and you can see when they're open. And that's also significant. It's significant for the overlap. There's a big overlap between London and New York. And that means that if you're in either location, it's easy to trade on the other market because it's open at the same time. And it gives you much more possibility to actually trade. In the early morning, the spread can be wider because the trading is getting going. Then in the main trading period, the spread is smaller because there's lots of trades. And in late afternoon, the spread can be wider. The trading hours are as follows. So in New York, NASDAQ, it's 9:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. In London, it's 8 to 4:30. And also there is a delay when you see the prices. So if you just go onto a newspaper or similar, you'll see a 15-minute delay with no platform subscription. If you take a subscription to something like Bloomberg, you'll see real-time prices. And I believe that in Nigeria, the stock market is open 10 till 2:20, but I'm not an expert on that. I believe so. Now, what about keeping an eye on the market? I'm going to give you a little example here of a friend of mine and what he does. So when do you keep an eye on the market? Is it every hour? Is it frequently? I have a friend who trades currency pairs, which is USD GBP. And he sets his alarm for every minute. And in between, he plays the guitar. So.
Hello, Mark. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Ben.
Oh, yeah. So this is Elvis. Do you mind making me a co-host? I think it might be better if there was a second co-host on the call to regulate. So just make either myself or Benedict or somebody else a co-host so that we can manage some of the mics.
How do I do that? How do I make you co-host?
I think you can just you can click on my icon and just make either me or any one of the organizers a co-host.
So okay, I've got it here. So I'll make host, right?
Yeah, host, co-host, anyone is fine.
Do I want to change the host to Elvis?
No, you can. Yeah,
make him a co-host. Make him a co-host. Make him a co-host, because if you're making him a host, you are giving all the right to him.
Yeah, I think it's better I'm a co-host, okay?
Well, I don't get that option, so I have to make you host for the moment.
It's fine. It's fine. I can make you a host once again. It's all good.
You are now the host.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, guys. Sorry about that.
Please just almost everybody and move them back. I'll move them and move them back because of the mic.
Yeah.
So when do you keep an eye on the market? Is it every hour? Whatever. I have a friend who trades currency pairs, which are USD GBP, and he sets his alarm for every minute, and in between he plays the guitar.
What's the name of the guy?
So he trades when he wants to, but he looks at the market very frequently. Then you need to be aware of a lot of terminology and jargon. So for example, ticker symbols like this, MSFT, Microsoft, that's the ticker symbol, shares traded, price traded, change of direction, and amount. That's from Investopedia. And when you get going on trading, you learn those things pretty quickly because every stock has a symbol. NASDAQ, MSFT, it's Microsoft. AAPL, that's Apple. JNG, that's Johnson & Johnson, and so on. So it's a language, if you will, and you'll soon learn those little symbols, the ticker symbols for the stocks. You might look at a site like this, and it shows you at the top the analyst price target on UPLD, which is a company called Upland Software. And there's a target price which 4 Wall Street analysts have proposed. There's a high price target of 60, average 55.5, and lowest 50. So those price targets, which are given by brokers, which are very, very useful. Okay, let's continue. So there are 4 principles I'd like to point out next in stock trading. transparency, information, strategy, and risk. So let's have a look at those. Transparency, let's see what that means. It means that the company must have...
Sorry, Mark. Sorry, Mark. Do you mind adding me as the host once again? Sorry about this.
Thanks, Elvis. Now I want you to invite me to unmute. Hi, Elvis. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can all hear you really well. Thank you.
Oh, okay, fine. I continue then. The company that you invest in, and every trade is an investment, should have open audited accounts with correct item allocations and fair market statements. That is absolutely vital. Let's see. And the regulator, there must be a proper regulator, which is an official body which gives consistent rules. And the government too should give consistent laws. So that's the background of transparency there. Then we've got the company itself that you want to invest in. They will have an annual report. You need to read what the chairman or CEO says and what do other people say, and compare with other companies in the same sector, and indeed check the basics, like, is it in profit? So even if you're doing many trades, it's good to know something about what you're trading in, because otherwise it can be quite random, really. The regulator in the UK is the FCA, Financial Conduct Authority, and in the USA is the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission. Now, the government is very important because obviously it sets a budget and plan for the year. It sets tax, company and intellectual property tax. So the question there is, what about big surprises and what impact that can have on company share prices? So knowing something about that background is also useful. I'll also say that transparency goes both ways. That means that it could be for you looking into another country's markets, because if you invest in a stock in the US or the UK, you need full information. And an outsider who's looking into your own markets, because every country wants to attract investment. I'll go on to talk a little about risk in trading and investment. It's all about the management of risk, and we'll have a look at types of risk next. So we've got market risk, portfolio risk, strategy risk, currency risk, economic risk, and country risk. Let's look at those. With market risk, we've got stock price volatility, dividend risk, company risk, and sector risk. Those are all risk factors. So the first one is quite clear. A stock could be very volatile, meaning it will shoot up and down all the time, and you really don't know what's happening. But of course, traders like volatility. They just love it because volatility gives the opportunity to make money. If a stock goes up quickly in a few minutes, you can make money on it. Also, if it goes down a lot next hour, you buy it and you hope that it's a low point and it will go up again. So for traders, and the more frequently you trade, volatility is important. There's dividend risk. If you're long-term in your horizons, the dividend may not be paid, it may be withdrawn. There's company risk itself, what could happen with a company, and many things can happen almost overnight sometimes. And sector risk. If you're investing in biotech or energy, whatever it is, there can be a risk for the whole sector. So suddenly the whole sector goes down or even goes up. Next, we have portfolio risk. That's about the balance of stocks, the size and the sector that you are working in. And of course, Sometimes I use the word trading and investment to mean the same thing, because even if you trade frequently, once every half hour, it's an investment. It's just that you're realizing the investment very, very quickly. Then concentration. Are you putting too much of your investments in one stock? And that's a really important factor. Next, we have strategy risk. Short term, are you day trading? Is it medium term? Are you weekly or monthly trading? And long term, is it much longer, annual or longer? And then you're more talking of investment holdings. So short term day trading, you may wish to trade through the day. If you wish to do that, it's really a bit of a job. You're going to spend many hours on it and work on it. So if you can afford the time to do that and successful, that's fine. Many people do, I'd call medium-term trading. They trade weekly, perhaps daily, but maybe one trade. And many of those kinds of people are in a job. They're working. It's quite common. And they manage to take a quick half hour to look at the market and make a trade. So that's quite typical, I must say. Then we've got currency risk. In your whole portfolio, you might have Naira stocks, USD, and GBP. Then you have a currency risk, because if you buy Amazon, ultimately you're buying a stock in dollars. It's denominated in dollars. So if the dollar goes up against your currency and the stock price remains the same, you're okay. You could sell the same day and do pretty well. If the opposite happens, then you can be on the wrong side. So you need to sell the investment. It could be the same day, but the dollar's gone down. So you won't get so many Nairas or pounds when you sell and convert the money back. So that's something really to think about. Then there's economic risk. And in the slide, I say we never know what may be lurking just beyond the horizon. It could be a sudden crash, a black swan event, a change in the economy, a new direction and focus, a recession. For example, if that happens, gold rises and stocks fall. Right now, we have a global energy problem. And energy prices are rising sharply. This was known last summer, to us at least. That might have been a good time to buy some energy stocks, because those stocks should be rising. But that happens, it can happen quickly, it can happen more slowly. And of course, there can be a sudden crash, a black swan event. And we know all about that because we've got COVID all over the world. And when COVID happened, the markets pretty well crashed. Travel companies collapsed by 70 or 80% within a week. Now, brave traders would have piled in there with their cash because they would have hoped that not all of those airlines or cruise companies would go bust. So that's to be considered. Then we've got country risk, political risk, change in regulation, nationalization maybe. There could be a windfall tax. A government suddenly imposes a tax on a sector, typically banks, and the stock price falls. There could be a withholding tax. So you have bought something in the States and they impose a special extra tax on those holdings by foreigners, and that tax has to be paid. There could be currency controls imposed very, very quickly. And we had some problems in Europe in the financial crisis when Greece, for example, imposed currency controls. So if you had invested something on the stock market in Athens and sold it, you would have been in trouble getting the money out. China at the moment is a big topic of conversation. It opened up and now it is closing in on itself. But there's no transparency. Coming back to that point, we really don't know what's going on. The Chinese government is unpredictable. It makes big decisions. They can come at any time, and it's driven by politics. Chinese stocks, the US position. There are large tech companies, Chinese ones, listed in the US, and investors own stocks listed in New York. But when you buy a Chinese stock listed in New York, you do not own a share of the Chinese company. In that case, you do not have shareholder rights. Nowadays, the US regulators are demanding more transparency with audited accounts, but this is impossible from the Chinese side because they're not providing what the US want. So, Chinese stocks, the Chinese position. There are very large tech stocks under political pressure at home. Jack Ma, Alibaba is a good case. And now the Chinese government claims the right to personal data. So some of these companies have a huge amount of personal data, could be yours or mine, and the Chinese government claims the right to it. So they are reasserting control over these companies as they get bigger. Here's a case study, Didi Chuqing. It's a ride-hailing app. You can see the amounts of money there in the flotation. It floated at 7.3 billion, bigger than Uber. But the Chinese government changed the law overnight regarding control of personal data. So all personal data held by that company in the United States about US citizens or anybody, they claim control of it, and then the share price collapsed. So this is very serious. And this is a screenshot from the Financial Times of this week. Is China uninvestable? It means, is it just too hard, too many risks? It's something to think about. It's something to really consider. So that's that. Let's go on to some hot sectors. Let's talk about trading day to day and different sectors that could be hot. Well, there are quite a few of them, and here are some. Renewables, wind, solar, biomass, and marine. Those are all growing quite strongly. So if you find companies in that area, you may do very well, very well. Automation is also coming along very quickly. Autonomous vehicles and factory automation. So this is happening at a very fast rate. So if you can pick stocks in this area, you can do pretty well. And connected with that, there are batteries. Obviously, lithium batteries for electric cars, that's a very fast moving sector right now. Car batteries, gigafactories, companies building so-called gigafactories, making huge amounts of these batteries. And then the recycling is lagging behind, but it will come. So if you do your homework on that and find battery recycling companies, you could do pretty well. There's a huge future need, and there's a need for service and new skills in that sector and new companies. Another hot area is AI, artificial intelligence, and of course, it's linked strongly to big data. Predictive analytics, consumer behavior, text and metadata, search suggestions when you go on Google. This is what gives you the suggestions, what you're looking for, like holidays, for example. There's a real-time bidding system. So all of these holiday companies pay to have their result higher up in Google, a small amount that they pay. And drug discovery, and that's very interesting. Pfizer is using IBM Watson machine learning to power its search for immuno-oncology drugs. Sanofi has agreed a deal to use UK startups Exscientia's AI platform to hunt for metabolic disease therapies. Roche, subsidiary Genentech, is using an AI system from GNS in Cambridge, Mass, to help drive the multinational company's search for cancer treatments. So this is happening pretty fast. Again, if you identify these companies, you can do really well. This company says in the future, all drugs will be designed with AI. And such companies' stock price could rise very, very quickly. And there are a lot of people who watch out for them and check the regulatory news on a daily basis and go into the stock and maybe sell it again the same day. So there are a lot of unlisted companies too that you might want to check out if you really want to do homework and watch them, which could launch on the market in the future. So why not put all your money into the hot sectors? Well, good question. There are risks. Small companies may fail. You may lose all your money. The burn rate may be significant. That is the use of the capital they have raised. They could start off with $5 or $10 million, and the calculation is quickly will that disappear as they operate. Timing is important. Is it the right timing? The regulation is important, and large companies kill them by competing them out of the market, and also governments can kill them through regulation. Okay, so traders trade these companies. They trade them on a daily basis, but there's a lot of risk involved. I'll come back to some of the mechanics now. I mentioned the spread. There's also the broker commission, tax, and exchange rate. So the spread, as I mentioned, on large stocks, which are very liquid with a high volume, there's a small spread. On small stocks, which are not so liquid, there's a low volume of trading and a large spread. So if you're trading daily or weekly, you might like to think what type of stocks you're going to trade, the large ones like that, or the small ones. The small ones can give you a lot of percentage upside within a day, but they're very risky. They could just drop and stay there. The large, very liquid stocks are safer, but you won't make so much money on each trade. Then there's the broker commission. In the UK, we pay typically just under £12 per deal, but less if it's a frequent trader with frequent deals. Then there's a platform fee, which can be raised. There can be fixed fees, and there could be a percentage of your whole portfolio. So you need to make a detailed calculation of that in an Excel spreadsheet to really know what you're doing. And you can shop around. When it comes to tax, you need to look at the local situation. Stamp duty, we have that on large stocks, 0.5%, on small stocks, none. US, there is nothing. It's a transaction tax, by the way. Then there's capital gains tax. If you make a gain, meaning that you make money on your trade, you're supposed to calculate all those gains and declare them in your tax return, and that may be taxed depending on your jurisdiction and tax regime, depending on local law. And then, as I mentioned, exchange rate, spread, currency movement, buy a stock in dollars, dollar rises, the stock rises, you do very, very well. But the opposite can happen. The stock falls, the dollar falls, then you suddenly, you lost 10%. Large safe stocks, they include the banks, utilities, energy and so on, supermarkets, automotive, and big pharma. You can certainly trade them on a daily basis because they will be going up and down, and certainly on a several times a week basis. Disruption, however, is hitting all of these large areas. Here they are, again, banks, energy, automotive, pharma, supermarkets. So fintech, financial technology, is affecting banks. Renewables, as I mentioned, that's affecting big energy companies. Automotive, self-driving vehicles and electric, that's affecting, you know, Volkswagen, Toyota and so on. Drug discovery, that's affecting big pharma, but big pharma typically buys small biotechs, and supermarkets are actually very adaptable in supply chains and analytics. I'll go on to risk profile, your personal risk profile. Do you like taking risks, or do you like to play it safe? What's the size of your portfolio? Is it small, medium, or large? What about your business knowledge? Are you a generalist or a specialist? And your obligations. Do you need income now, or do you need a regular income? Do other people depend on you? So figuring out all of those factors are really, really important. Okay, coming towards the end now for today, and I'd just like to put forward 3 key takeaways. And that's set your strategy, spread the risk, and do your homework. So your strategy, do you want to be a trader who trades every day? Or is it a couple of times a week or once a week? So to be a trader, I think you're trading probably on a weekly basis, several times a week. You could be a day trader. Spreading the risk, I've mentioned many risk factors, but you need to spread it across your portfolio. If your portfolio or if your amount is very, very small, you could have 4 stocks with $500 in each stock. That is practical, but you need to look at the cost of trading. And finally, do your homework. You can just go in and out if you want. A lot of people do that, but I like to know a little bit about a stock that I'm trading, even if I'm going in and out on a daily or a weekly basis. Okay, so that's me, Mark Perkins. Thank you for listening. Skills Base Africa, we do have a full course, Introduction to Stock Trading, a full course in which you'll practice trading skills, learn about fundamental analysis, that's looking at particular companies, learning about them and sectors, and build a dummy portfolio. That's to say, let's list some stocks that we want to trade and track it over time, making paper or dummy trades. So you make a trade on Monday morning and you register that in Excel, and that's recorded. And then later on, you sell that one and you record that too. And at the bottom, you've got the total. Is it positive or minus, plus or minus? So this is the 10-week course, and we're hoping to start on February the 14th, and it ends April 22nd. So there is time over that period to track the portfolio. So I'll be leading that course, giving course material, a weekly live session recorded for those who can't make it, and a chat facility for people to have a little chat with me now and again. What's happening? Should I do this? Is this a good idea? That kind of thing. Okay, so thank you very much for today. Hope to see you next time. And now I think we have some time for questions. And I think, I'm not sure if there are any in the chat. Let me ask, I'm not sure, Kingsley or Benedict? how we can work this.
Okay, thank you so much. Hi, Dr. Mark, great presentation from here. I think Kingsley is to take the Q&A session. But we need to be sure that he has gotten some questions from the chat section. However, while we await Kingsley's questions, if you have questions, please, I would like to take them on the chat. We're not sure we want to get anyone. Yeah. Kingsley, are you?
Yeah, I'm on now.
So do we have
thanks,
questions?
Mark. Yeah, I think we will start with the first question here.
Okay. Kingsley, can you give us a minute? We have a video to play. We just want people to run through the video in like 30 seconds. So,
all right.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Gentlemen, I will stop sharing.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
I'm stopping sharing now, and I think you probably could show your video.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay, seems we lost the voice.
Hello, please, can you tell us if you can hear the audio or if the video is really clear on the comment section? Do you mind doing that?
Yes.
I cannot hear.
Okay, you can't hear Dr. Mark.
No.
Okay. Maybe there's really no audio. So at least the person operating knows that now.
Hello, you're playing the video from Instagram. Try to click on the video. It's going to play the audio out.
Okay, hi Kingsley, because of time, so I think you can just go ahead do the questions. That can keep on playing on the screen. Yeah, so you can just go ahead with the questions, and Dr. Perkins also can take some. There are some questions in the chat I can see that are for us, so you likely let us know when the questions are directed to Trove. I will take that. A question directed to skill-based, you will take that on your end. Is that fair?
Yes.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thanks. All right, thanks. So, Mark, I think there are many questions here. Well, it's obviously they want to have more information about the course in February 14th and how much does the course cost?
Yeah, that's right, Kingsley. So we are collecting interest for the course right now. And we'll be able to send you the full details of the course and the price by the end of the week. I think that's what I can say right now. But I would like yes?
Yeah, and please make sure to drop your emails with us so that we can send you all the information that you need regarding the courses that is to come. So yeah. Mark, you can continue.
Okay, fine. I'm just looking in the chat here with some questions that I can see. So I'll just take a few of them. One person asked about dividends. It's a really good point. So with dividends, what happens is that on a particular day, the stock goes ex-dividend, which means that if you held the stock the day before, you will get the dividend. So if you held it on Monday and Tuesday it's ex-div, you will get the dividend. If you buy it on Tuesday, you will not get the dividend. So you can do that as a strategy, which means that you'll get the dividend paid maybe 1 month or 2 months later. It depends on the company. Now, what happens normally is on Tuesday, the stock will fall in value, because just think of this. If let's say in very simple terms, the market cap, which is the total value of all the shares, is 100. And the company gives away or pays 5 in dividends. That means that the company is now worth 95. So the fall would be 5% in the share price. That's incredibly logical, but it doesn't always happen like that. If the company is doing really well and the market is rising, it might not fall. It might even rise the next day. Then you've got a very good position because you can sell that stock, make a gain on the trade and get the dividend. Another way of looking at dividends is long-term, and I had a question about long-term holdings, and that is this, that if you buy a stock which pays a dividend every quarter, like GSK, which is a huge pharmaceutical company, you will get a payment every quarter into your bank account. So if the dividend is 6%, you'll get 1.5% of your holding paid into your bank account every quarter. So that's a way of looking at long-term holdings regarding dividends. Another question I've got is, can you trade at any time? Yes, of course you can. Once you are registered on a trading platform like Trove, I'm sure my friends in Trove will fill you in on the detail, you can trade anytime you like. So you need to put in your capital, you put in your $1,000 or whatever it is, that's how much money you've got. You spot the stock you want to buy, you can just trade right away. And that's that. Then you own, if it's, if the stock is $1 per share, you can buy 1,000 shares, or stocks are just a little bit less because there'll be a cost in trading. And then you can sell it immediately. So, right, that's that one. Then I've got some more here. Is buying stock also the same as buying shares? Yes, it's a question of terminology. A stock, a share means the same thing. Some stock means a number of shares. It's the same thing. This is just a little difference in language use, but it's the same thing. But of course, stock has a general sense also in business, like the shop has some good stock. So it's a general sense of the stuff. Okay, let me see if I can spot out any more questions in the chat. How do we know dividend paying stocks on Trove? The platform should give the information that the particular stock has declared a dividend. So the senior management the company declares a dividend. Let's say on Monday, it declares a dividend, meaning we will pay X on a particular day to the shareholders. And that should be recorded, noted in the platform with the details of the company. That should be how it is. Okay.
So Mark,
yes.
So this particular one, it said, any advice on holding shares for long term?
Yes, a lot of research and spread the risk. So you might say, I'm going to invest in 5 sectors. It could be energy, pharma, automotive, banks, and something else. I'm going to invest in those 5 sectors. In those sectors, I'm going to pick out, let's say, 3 stocks that I want to buy. So, it could be, as I say, Volkswagen, General Motors, and Toyota, something like that. I'm going to research those stocks. I'm going to see what the broker forecasts say. And that's important because the platform should give you some broker forecasts. And with the big stocks, they will have several brokers, and the brokers will have a target price over 1 year from today, 1 year forward. So if they say General Motors, we expect it to rise from X to Y, so by 5% or whatever it is, it's a guide for you. And you might think that's a good guide, and I will buy that stock. So when you've set that portfolio up and you're looking a bit more long term, and 1 year is not that long term, we've got fund managers. Templeton was a classic in America. He advocated extremely long timescales, and also Warren Buffett. So you can invest with a very, very long timescale. So that's another question. Did you see another one, Kingsley?
Hold on. There is some questions here, but
hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Kingsley.
So, yes.
Sure. So, do you mind we taking some questions on Trove? I think we've penned them down, so we can just take them from here, about 5 of them.
Okay. Yes, please do.
That's a great
idea.
Right,
great. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
So I'll just take some of the questions we have in regards to using the Trove app. And one of the first questions here says that what are the advantages of using the Trove app? Now, off the top of my head, I would say that it's fractionless investing, the ability to buy a fraction of a share. What do I mean by buy a fraction of a share? So, for example, Google shares is about $3,000 for one. Now that's a lot of money, but then you cannot afford $3,000 to buy one share. You can buy $10 of Google shares. That's what we call fractional investing, and I think Trove gives you that advantage where you can invest in any company for as little as $10. Now that is international companies. Now Trove also gives you the privilege to invest in some of the biggest Nigerian companies. We allow you access to the Nigerian stock market also. So meaning that you can buy your favorite, you can own a piece of your favorite bank, some of your favorite products, your Milo, your Coca-Cola, your GT Bank, your Echo Bank. So just think about it as a one-stop place for investing, across the globe. We like to position ourselves as a truly global company when it comes to diversification in what you can acquire as shares. Also, we have one of the lowest fees in the industry right now. So we don't charge you when you deposit or when you withdraw from your account. The only time we charge you is when you place a trade, and at that time it's still the lowest in the industry at 1%. That's the lowest rate you get anywhere across the Nigerian stock investing space. So Trove offers you quite a lot of things. The app is built uniquely, can work with every and almost every type of phone you have. And then we have a web platform where you can just log into our website, www.troveapp.co, and then you can still use the web platform to invest. So there is no limit to how you can get on the app or how you can use our platform, and there's almost no limit to what you can invest. So no matter what your income level is like, you can still get to use the Trove app. So I'll go to the next question. I'll go to the next question that talks about real-time trading. Yes, with the Trove app, you can get to trade real-time. There is no lag. Can you hear me? With the Trove app, you can get to trade. You can get to trade real time. There is no like lag or anything. We'll provide you once the market open in the US. The Trove app, the market is also open, and then you can place trade immediately. So you can see as one of the good things is once you open the app, you can see as price changes real time, and this correlates both with the Nigerian stock market and the US stock market. So yes, you can trade real time. I'll go to the next question. That what is the fate of one stock on the Trove platform in the event of anything happens to the app? Now that's a beautiful question. We all have to mitigate risk. That's the essence why we're investing in the market. Now I can guarantee to a large extent that nothing is going to happen to the Trove app. I know many of you might have issues around regulations, SEC, CBN, and all of that. But then I can guarantee you that nothing is going to happen to the Trove app. We'll be here. I think we were the first person. It is safe to say that we're the first pioneer of retail stock investing in Nigeria and across Africa. And we're still here and we're still strong. Now, when it comes to our relationship with the CBN and with SEC, I can say that our relationship is strong and it's getting better. We have been in touch with the Security Exchange Commission in Nigeria, that's SEC, and in the coming weeks we are going to release our broker's license, which we are incurring or which we are getting from them very soon. So watch out for that announcement. It's going to come out very soon. And with the CBN also, all issues with the CBN is smooth. Our accounts are running perfectly. You can deposit, you can withdraw. You can invest any time of the day, so you have nothing to worry about. And one thing I can also say is that everything we do, all investments on the Trove app is insured. is insured to the level of $500,000, meaning that every of your investment is protected to the sum of $500,000. So you have nothing to worry about. We're regulated in Nigeria and in the US with the US Security Exchange Commission. So yeah, the next question also says that what happened if the Trove crashes? Now, I can tell you that we have a bank level security we have. Now, the same level of security you will get with your bank is the same level of tight security you will get with the Trove. It has been built by some of the best engineers you can find across the country with years of experience. So you have nothing to fear. And I've also stated it earlier that every of your accounts is insured to the sum of $500,000. So there is really nothing to fear when it comes to the Trove. So someone is also asking, is Trove regulated, or which governing body regulates Trove? I said earlier, we're in good talks with the CBN, we're in good talks with the Nigerian Security Exchange Commission. We're regulated in the US. We have US partners, we have Nigerian partners. So we've really tied up all these ends. The Trove is fully regulated, is fully trusted, and we have partners across the globe, that trust they have and that can vet what they have. So I think that's the major questions as such in the app. Now, if you want to download the app, you can simply go to the Play Store or your App Store, and you just check for Trove, Trove, and then you'll find the logo with the arrow pointing up. Okay, somebody is asking here that okay, I think Gregory here is asking that some few months back, the CBN did freeze Trove, Chapter, and other companies access for stock trading. What's the current situation? Okay, Gregory, one thing I can say is now, immediately that publications came out, we had meetings with the CBN together with other investment app, and that issue has been sorted. You will also notice that there was a publication after that that clearly stated that most of accounts and with other investment apps have been frozen and transactions are proceeding clearly. I don't know if there's any other question for now. Okay, so last question is from Oluwafemi. Olawale, sorry. It says, when will short selling be available on the Trove platform? Well, I can guarantee that if you download the app, we are updating the app almost frequently, and then short selling will be available very soon. We'll be making recent. Have nothing to worry about. Yeah, so I believe that's all concerning the app. You can visit our website, www.troveapp.co, not .com, troveapp.co. That's TROVEAPP.co. If you have any other question, feel free to send us a mail at hello@troveapp.co. I'll take that again, hello@troveapp.co. All right, thank you so much, guys, for joining the training today. I don't know if
all right, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Samson. That was really insightful. So please, if you have further questions, do well to follow us on Instagram at Trove Finance, Twitter Trove Finance, on LinkedIn Trove Finance. You can always send us DMs on our social platforms if you have further questions. We'll be happy to take them from everyone. Then please, if you're not downloaded the Trove app, visit the Play Store app on your phone if you're using an Android phone. If you're using an iPhone, please check your iPhone, the App Store, search for Trove app and download. Once you download, you go through the registration process very under very few minutes. And you can also use the message, the chat option on the app, to reach out to any of our customer success team. They will be very happy to take further questions from everyone. Kingsley, I think that will be all for now. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Mark Perkins. Don't forget, like we said, that there will be further trainings on the stock market and other things that will be helpful to help us become better in our trading and investing. If you want to reach out to us, our social media platforms are very accessible to everyone. So if you have questions about this training or you want to get clarifications, please do well to reach out to us. We'll be happy to take the conversation from there. Thank you, everyone. We are excited to have everyone join us today. We are so sorry for the glitches we had, but we know that we have been able to share some very important information today, and everyone has been impacted in one way or the other. Thank you again, and thank you, Skill-Based Africa. Thank you to your team, Dr. Mark, Kingsley, Kolapo. We are thankful for partnering us on this program. So yeah, that will be all from us. To everyone who has attended, we are deeply thankful. Record will be shared. I believe we all registered for this event. We all have your emails. So you might not need to drop your emails on the chat. We'll definitely reach out to everyone who registered and left their information, so you can get a record of the event, listen to it again. If you have further questions, you can then reach out. Thank you so much, and let's have a great afternoon from Lagos, Nigeria. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Benedict.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks.
I will close the meeting now. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.